Hi, I'm Kelly, and welcome to Kapowski Reads. And this is just going to be a couple of days kind of in the life sort of vlog. Today, I'm actually just about to go off and have a solo brunch. It's my sister's birthday today, and I always take some time off because, not to be a buzzkill, but the birthday of like a lost loved one is always a really kind of weird day. And for me, since I turned 30, it's been extra hard because my sister died at 29, and it's weird being older than my older sister ever got to be. So I like to take some days off, and my sister was the biggest fan of treat yourself. Any excuse. She's like, treat yourself. Do it. Buy yourself that treat. Do something nice. So I like to take a couple of days off and do something nice. My boyfriend's birthday is in 2 days anyway, but I I will be having all the nice days. I'm gonna go get brunch, treat myself. It's what she would have wanted. I also have a cake for later. She would not have wanted the cake. I got a lemon cake, lemon sponge. I don't like chocolate cake. She loved a chocolate cake and Abs just loved it, would not want to give anybody any of the chocolate cake. But I hate chocolate cake. So I'm honouring her by having a cake, but in a flavour I can eat without feeling sick. So I have a lemon cake, and I think she'd love the lemon drizzle. So I think she'll be like, a, like an apprehensive, a grudging approval, I think, would have come from a lemon cake. My plan is I'm going to go to Second Home. It is one of my favourite places to go for brunch. I haven't been for a while, and I really want to get something with eggs. I know I did veganuary. It was great. I felt good. Like I felt better because I was eating more fruit and vegetables than I previously have been, but it was December, before veganuary, and I wasn't eating a lot. I was eating a lot of sprouts actually, but they hurt my tummy. But since finishing veganuary, I have wanted to eat some more healthier food, but I am going back to being an omnivore. I have actually started doing 75 soft because I want a way of getting a little bit more movement in my life. And I would be lying if I said I didn't want to drop a few kilos, but I'm gonna be doing that in a very soft way. I'm also partway through 3 books, which I'm hoping to finish over the span of this vlog so that I can share those books with you. I have 2 of them here. I am currently reading Real Gone Kid. The author very kindly sent me a copy of this. This is a coming of age in small town Scotland in the 80s book. I'm really enjoying it so far. And I have a non-fiction of Shakespeare Was a Woman and Other Heresies. This is a very, very in-depth, like academic kind of non-fiction, which is not my usual kind, but I'm having a really good time with this. I think because I have no horse in this race. I have never read a Shakespeare book. I do have the collection. One day I will read it. And I feel like it's just interesting to me the academic arguments on either side, but it's just super interesting. I'm about halfway through this. There's quite a substantial amount of notes and appendices and references at the back, so it's not quite as long as it looks. But I'm gonna go get brunch, and it's gonna be delicious, and it's gonna just be a nice day. I am reporting in from laundry and giant box for the recycling corner. This is my kitchen. It's I need to tidy. I can actually see the pile of dishes that I'm going to do after I film this. I wanted to film a little update because I went into town and I bought some things, and the majority of the things are for the fridge, so it made sense to film in the kitchen. Then I could put the things away rather than film somewhere that has better acoustics and then have to move the things back in the bag and take them. It made more sense. So I went to Marks and Spencer's and I got some nice meal things, and I also had to get some, I had to get some coffee because we're running a little low on our coffee in the house. So I went to McBean's. I've mentioned it before, it's a local bean shop, it's my favourite bean shop, and I got this bag of coffee, and I was walking around town and I had somebody come up and ask me specifically if I had McBean's coffee on me, and I was like, I do. So I just got, they do a trilogy every few months or so, and I just get whatever their special trilogy is. I think it's East Indies just now, but I could be making that up. So these are the ones I got. Papua New Guinea, which we've had before. It's amazing. I mean, I don't think we've had a bad blend from them. We have Old Brown Java. This takes me back. This is what I used to drink when I worked in a delicatessen, like my first job ever. It's where I kind of learned to love coffee. And Sumatra. They also had, I can't remember what kind it was, but there was a kind that had like notes of blueberry, lavender, and I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. But I did not need 4 coffees for the house. I could have made it work, but 3 felt enough. I also went to Marks and Spencer's, the food hall, which I believe is closing down soon because that Marks and Spencer's is closing. And then that means that the only Marks and Spencer's in the city centre of Aberdeen is going to be in Union Square, which is a shopping centre, and it's not too far from like where I usually go in town, but I genuinely don't think that I would go that far out of my way to get like a nice meal. I would just go somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see what happens when they do close it. So we're having pasta for dinner tonight, and I went out with the mindset of garlic bread. I didn't get garlic bread, but I got garlic dough balls. We really like these in the house, and I thought that they would make sense to go with our dinner. We're having like a really green pasta. I made a pasta sauce when I was doing veganuary, and it was the blandest pasta sauce I've ever made. So I'm gonna have to jazz it up because I froze a bunch of it. I'm gonna add a lot more flavors to it because it's very bland. So dough balls are gonna go with that. And I got a little baggie of salad, which has a weird thing on it. It's washed, but it has, I don't know what this is. Shall we say that's dirt? Let's say that's dirt and not, I don't know. I'll wash it anyway, it'll be fine. And they are having their Valentine's Day sort of deal, so I thought it would be nice to get that. I got some steaks. This alarm thing, I bought these, I paid for them, and it didn't set off any alarms in Marks and Spencer's, and then it set off every single shop alarm of every shop that I walked too close to the door of. I went to Boots, I set off the alarm repeatedly because of the steaks. So that was fun. That was not embarrassing at all for me. I thought, what goes well with steaks? Triple cooked chips. Yeah, my boyfriend really likes these, so I thought, well, let's get those. We also got these little heart praline things. I don't know, but this has glitter on it, and it was kind of hard getting a pudding that would work for both of us because we kind of have different tastes in what we like to eat, which is why this starter king prawn medley, this is mine. My boyfriend won't be eating this, not because I won't let him, he doesn't like prawns. So I'm gonna have this with some of the salad. This will be a lunch, I don't know, tomorrow. We also got to get a prosecco or a wine, but we don't drink alcohol. So I have these that I'm not even showing you. Dos. 2 elderflower presse, so just fizzy elderflower juice, which I really like. I wanted to get like a something to go in the pasta. It needs a little bit more oomph. So I got some, that's just plain chicken. That's not going to give it any oomph. But I also picked up 2 of the hot smoked salmon flakes. I'm thinking that these could be really nice with like scrambled eggs over the next couple of days. And the last thing, this is the most I have purchased in a long time. I went to Boots and I technically broke my low spend year because I bought makeup that I don't need. It's not a need, but I have been putting my makeup on, as I do, and kind of hating the way that it looks. And I think that the reason for that is because I've had so much of my makeup for a long time. I'm also really shiny, but I am literally just back in from the outside. And I think the makeup that I have got is for like a version of me that no longer exists. They're colors that I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to wear that. And whenever I put my makeup on, I'm like, oh, I feel almost like clown-like with some of the blush that past me has bought. I like a little bit more of a delicate, you know, blush than what I have. So I thought, we'll do something about it. Clear out your makeup, get rid of anything that you know you're not going to wear. I've got like 4 lipsticks that I know I'm not even not going to wear them. I can't wear them. They're dry. They're way out of date. They're not going to be good products. So if I get rid of the stuff I'm not going to wear, then I only have stuff that I'm going to wear, and I can use the stuff, not force myself to use stuff that I don't like and it doesn't make me feel good. That was the thought process. Anyway, I bought myself a little gift set. I have wanted this since like November, October. I love Too Faced. I've loved Too Faced since I couldn't afford Too Faced. Back when it was like the only place that did like a plumping gloss, and I am a thin-lipped woman. I like a plumping gloss, and I really wanted to get a blush, and I also kind of wanted a little gloss oil, and this was £38, so it was cheaper to buy the set that I have coveted for months. And yeah, I broke my low spend year, but I'm okay with that because this year has been tough. I'm only in like the early February, but this year's been tough mentally, and I've not felt good about myself, and I want to feel good about myself. And if breaking my low spend year buying makeup makes me feel good about myself, then I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that as a fail, but I'm still gonna continue with the rest of my year. It's just, I messed up. I didn't mess up. I knew what I was doing. It was a conscious decision. But also, this made me feel good. Like having a paper baggie, I don't know, is this just like because I usually buy budget stuff that getting the little bag when you buy stuff, it made me feel, I don't know. Is this how Kardashians feel? Is this how Paris Hilton feels? Probably not. They probably buy way more expensive stuff than this. But, you know, I felt good. I felt like a boss babe. I'm gonna go put my food away and wash some dishes and do some laundry and read a book, and then I'm gonna play Stardew Valley. This is my plan. The boiler's just come on. That's my plan. I have finally finished not 1, but 2 books. These are the only books I have finished this month so far. It has been a very slow reading month for me, to the point that I had my group chat with my friends. We have a chat every month where we just talk about what we've been reading. And I was like, I have nothing to talk about because I haven't finished anything. And the concern from my friends was gorgeous and heartwarming, but also was like, yeah, it's not just cat just jumped up. Is, you know, it's definitely outside of the norm for me to not be reading. But I have finished 2 books, and I also woke up today feeling really, really unwell, which is why I'm not as high pitched and shrill as I normally am. I've got a scratchy throat and I don't feel well. So I think I've been coming down with something, and that's probably the reason why I've not read a lot. Do I have anything to tell you about before I tell you about the books I've been reading? I went for a walk. It was really nice. Those people that say it's nice to go outside and get fresh air, they're not wrong. It was really nice to go out and get some fresh air. It was very lovely. It was a pretty walk. But winter is still definitely here in Aberdeen. There was even a snow warning yesterday and I got really excited, but there was no snow. And I don't believe I have done anything with my life since my last update. Have I done anything? I've just been reading and playing Stardew Valley. I'll go to the books in a moment, but I'm using I play on a Switch and I only just got the update. So I'm on like the new farm and I'm loving it. I achieved perfection one time, exactly one time, and since then I don't need to achieve perfection again. I can just play for fun. Currently, I'm just playing to like make all the money that I can so that I can have all of the animals. I want all of the pets. I want even more, like cows and chickens and pigs and like mainly chickens and little ducks, because when they swim in the little river it's so cute. Books. I finished a non-fiction, Shakespeare Was a Woman and Other Heresies. I really had a great time with this. I've never read a Shakespeare book. I know that every time I mention that it comes with surprise, but when I was at school, Shakespeare was covered in drama, not in English. And I didn't take drama because I hated people looking at me. So why would I take drama? People would look at me. So I never did it. I've of course loved multiple films, books, TV series based on Shakespeare plays. So I feel like I'm not a stranger to the works of Shakespeare. I've just never enjoyed them firsthand. So I think that that's what made this book really interesting to me. I have no horse in this race. I have no strong feelings either way. I just kind of loved the deep dive into the theory, and it was so well researched. Like the last maybe 60 pages or so are references. So I can only imagine the amount of work that has gone into creating this book, and it was so interesting and it was so like controversial, and I had such a good time with it. I cannot imagine like how hard it was for the author to write this based on just some of the interactions that are in this book. It did not sound like it would have been the most a pleasant of writing experiences. There was a mention of a lot of Twitter hate that they got from just writing a book about a theory. I've tabbed a bit that I think sort of summarizes like my thoughts on the matter. Not that anyone cares what my thoughts are on whether Shakespeare was just this guy, or whether he was a collective, or whether he was a gentleman who couldn't possibly be known as a writer, or if he was a woman and his works were just put under a pseudonym. I kind of the book covered all of those sort of theories that have been going around. So I kept a little bookmark in the spot that I think sort of best summarizes everything. After all, evidence that Shakespeare did more collaborating than had originally been assumed does suggest that none of us can be absolutely certain about what was going on 5 centuries ago. And I think that's kind of it. You're never gonna know 100% one way or the other, and I think it's just interesting. I like a deep dive into something that's interesting, that the writer is passionate about, and that's what this was. I feel if you're a big fan of Shakespeare and you may get annoyed by the existence of this book, then maybe it's not for you. But if you're like, I'm willing to hear a theory, a bard theory, then this might be the one for you. It was a bit of a chunky book, but like I say, the last sort of 60 pages are just references. And I love the writing style. I love the research. I love the fact that the author went across the world. Well, traveled from the US to the UK to do more research. I had a great time with it, and it was fun. It was very like Da Vinci Code with the sort of all these conspiracies and or people thinking there are conspiracies. And it was just really interesting, something I've never actually ever thought about before. And I finished Real Gone Kid. This is a coming of age novel set in a working class town in Scotland in the 80s. And you know how I feel about coming of age novels that feature working class kids in Scotland. Usually I'm sort of 90s to 2000s, but this was a little earlier than the normal period I would reach towards, but I had a really good time with this book. This book surrounds Aileen, who is 16. She lives in a steel town in Scotland, and she is Catholic, and she lives in a very Protestant area. And the book basically surrounds her being bullied very, very severely because of her religion, and her learning to harness a superpower in order to protect herself and protect her little sister. And I think you can probably guess what the superpower is. I really liked this book. It was very much a classic Scottish coming of age story, and the dialogue felt very authentic. I loved the friendship. In this book, we have Aileen and we have her school friends, but we also have her sort of out of school friends. And I really liked the way that she had these different levels of friendship with these people. And I really just thought it felt real. The characters felt real. There was a romance in it, which was adorable and sweet. And it just made me like, oh, it was just, oh, you know, when you just really like a character and you're like, I want good things for you. And I just wanted good things for Aileen. She'd been through so much in her life. She'd lost her mother. She was facing like horrific bullying. It was just, oh, it was horrible. And some of this book was really quite hard to read because of that. But you just couldn't help but root for Aileen. And I wanted to keep reading it to know that what was going to happen. What was going to happen? A lot of very relatable topics were brought up in this. We've got the bullying, we've got the differences between religions, there's friendship drama, there's boyfriend drama, there's teenage pregnancy drama, there's hairdressing drama. It kind of had everything, and it was just a very comforting read, and I had a really good time with it. So now I have finally finished 2 books this month. I feel like I'm behind, but can you really be behind in a hobby? I don't think you can. Next week's vlog, I hope, will be less rambly. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!